Probably the most common method of transferring people from crew boats and supply boats to offshore rigs and platforms is with the personnel basket. The personnel basket can be as safe as climbing stairs if you follow a few simple rules. As a passenger, you have responsibility for your own safety as well as that of your fellow passengers. By doing your part, you can make the process safer and easier for everyone. Any items you want to take with you must be placed in the center of the basket so they won't fall off. Do not carry anything in your hands while riding the basket. Everyone riding must wear a life preserver or work vest, and it must be securely fastened. Don't hesitate to tell your buddy to buckle up. Stand on the ring in the open space between two sections of the rope net. Flex your knees so you won't lose your balance on takeoff or landing, especially during rough weather. Hold on to the basket with both hands. The best way is to put your arms through the net for a more secure grip. And remember, don't carry anything. When everyone is ready, a helper will signal for the crane operator to begin. He will lift the basket high enough to clear any obstructions and then swing it out over the water toward the boat. The basket is lowered most of the way while it's over the water. Just as a helicopter pilot or boat skipper is in charge of his equipment and passengers, the crane operator is in charge of personnel basket transfers. He will not allow an unsafe passenger to ride. The crane operator does his best to make the ride as smooth as possible, but the passenger should always be ready for the unexpected. Most accidents occur while landing on the boat. The basket may touch deck when the boat is at the top of a swell. If you try to step off as the swell subsides, the boat could drop out from under you, causing a fall. On the other hand, the basket may be going down as the boat rises on a swell, making the two slam into each other. So, in rough seas, the crane operator will hold the basket over the water until the boat is relatively still, and then set it down on deck. When the basket lands, make sure there is slack in the wire rope overhead. Then step off quickly. Hang your life vest back on the net and remove your gear from the center of the basket. The same procedures are followed when going from the boat up to the rig. First, always wear a life jacket when riding the basket. Second, stand on the ring between two sections of the rope net and flex your knees. Finally, hold on with both hands and don't carry anything. No more than 4 people can ride the basket at any one time. However, in rough seas or when there is limited space on deck, only 2 people should ride. Space yourselves evenly around the basket to balance the load. By standing in the open space between 2 sections of net, you can fall into the center of the basket if you lose your balance. Someone should always help with takeoffs and landings to be sure the basket doesn't get caught or hit anything. Sometimes the landing area is a bit crowded, and an assistant is a big help, whether on a boat or on a rig. If no one was there when you landed, stick around to help the next group. The personnel basket is sometimes used for transferring extra baggage and small cargo. That's okay as long as the load is not too heavy and there are no passengers on the load. Make sure that these items are loaded safely and that nothing will fall off. Toolboxes, machinery, and other heavy items should be sent in a cargo box like this one. Remember, the personnel basket was designed for people, and if damaged, it could break while you're on it. When sending excess cargo from the boat to the rig, it should go up first. When going from the rig to the boat, the cargo box should come down last. Do your part by helping to load and unload the extra cargo. Of course, be careful when lifting heavy items, make sure a helper is present at takeoffs and landings, and never stand beneath a suspended load. As we said earlier, the crane operator is in charge of all transfer operations. He conducts regular inspections of the crane to be certain that each component is in good condition. The basket itself is also inspected to make certain there is nothing unsafe about any of its parts, including the lifting bridles and the anti-shock cord, or stabilizer. The stabilizer is basically a long rubber band between the crane hook and the top of the net. A wire rope runs beside the stabilizer and supports the weight of the basket during transfers. The stabilizer holds the basket upright when it's on deck and there's slack in the wire rope. The stabilizer also takes some of the shock out of liftoffs. When the basket is not being used, it should be stored out of the way where it won't be damaged. Many rigs have a hanger for the basket on the side of the deck. If yours doesn't, you'll have to fold the net for storage. When doing so, be careful not to let the stabilizer or wire rope become tangled with the lifting bridles or with the net itself. It will be much easier to hook up if you take the time now to fold the basket neatly. The personnel basket is not a toy. Horseplay could lead to serious injury to yourself and to others. By keeping these tips in mind, the personnel basket will provide convenient transportation between offshore rigs and boats. Treat it with respect and do your part to help others, especially newcomers, to keep it safe.